Welcome to the Farm to School podcast, where you will hear stories of how youth thrive and farmers prosper when we learn how to grow, cook, and eat delicious, nutritious local foods in schools across the country
and the world. Hey everyone, we're your hosts. I'm Michelle Markiston.
And I'm Rick Sherman.
And we have a very special guest with us in the studio today. Please welcome Emilia Miguel, Food Service Director of Pacific Elementary School and FoodLab Coordinator. Hi, Emilia.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Emilia, where is Pacific Elementary School located at?
So we are in Davenport, California. We're about 12 miles north of Santa Cruz. It's a rural community, pretty small population, about 375 people live in Davenport.
Oh, and how many kids go to your school?
We have about 180 students.
Wow.
75% of our students come from Santa Cruz, so it's a very small Davenport local population, but we survive on those people coming up the coast to be a part of our school and mostly a part of our program. They want to be in FoodLab, so a lot of our kids come, or a lot of our families come because of our food program.
Well, they want to come to FoodLab. Tell us about FoodLab. What are they so excited about?
And why do they want to go there?
Well, FoodLab is a program that started in 1983 by a woman named Stephanie Roggest, and she was a parent at the school. She was very unsatisfied with the food that was being brought up from Santa Cruz and reheated and served in Davenport. And so she said, well, we can do better than this. And so she started cooking from scratch. She started, her first meal was a chicken, and it was about 30 minutes late. And she was cooking for, I think, just maybe 50 people. I'm not even sure, that might be too high, but there was a very small population then in 1983. But anyway, that's how she started as a parent. And that's the same as how I started. I started as a parent in 2007, and I wanted to go to that school because of FoodLab. And FoodLab is a place where kids cook the school meals. So right now we cook breakfast and lunch and an after-school snack. And we cook for about 150 people every day because all of our staff come in. We have adults that come in, like parents are welcome to come in for lunch.
So I'm trying to think through my mind how that's going to work. Now, when I'm picturing kids are cooking, what are the grades, the grade range of your school? What ages are those kids that are helping you prepare the meals?
So our sixth graders are the ones that help cook the meals. Fifth graders do come in and help on a regular basis, but they come in and help expedite the food. They also help set up the lunchrooms. They get everything prepared for every meal, or our lunches, actually, not every meal, but just our lunches. I guess breakfast too. But yeah, mostly the 11 and 12-year-olds, the sixth graders come in. And we cook for preschool through sixth grade. That's who we have up there. So we're one of the holdouts who still have sixth grade at our school.
Okay.
Wow. And I know, because you're part of the National School Lunch and Breakfast programs doing this, correct?
Yes. Yes, we are.
And I know
proudly so.
Yeah. And thank you. This is amazing. And there's so many different strict health and safety instructions. It seems like the youth have to learn so many really important kitchen skills.
They do, and very important life skills. I mean, just washing your hands is the basic life skill that we all need, and it keeps us safe. Our health inspector comes twice a year, and that's the number one thing that they always ask. Okay, so do you have your hand washing signs up? Show me how the kids wash their hands, or they have the kids demonstrate how they wash their hands. And we start off our school year by just teaching those health and safety rules. And, the most important thing for me is to keep them safe in the kitchen. And you'll be surprised. I mean, we do cook for 150 people, but it's a really small space. And so when we have about six sixth graders in the kitchen at once, plus myself, plus our prep cook, there's a lot going on. And so it's really important that they all use those safety skills, like watching your body and your movements, and no elbows in the kitchen, and making sure they're using their hot pads when they open the oven, and their knife skills are one of the most important things that we teach. We teach them how to use chef's knives. They're very sharp. We have a dad that comes in and sharpens them at least every 2 weeks. And so they always use their, well, they're always supposed to use their claw.
I know what you mean. I had some culinary training too. So a claw is the shape of your hand so you don't cut your fingers off. Yeah. On your non-knife hand.
Just your knuckles.
Yes. So that's so great because you're teaching kids life skills that they can use at their home too.
And they do. And this year in particular, we had a group of kids that a lot of them came in just for 6th grade because they heard about FoodLab. They were not satisfied with their elementary school for whatever reason, and they wanted a little bit more. And so they came in just for 6th grade. And we have an amazing 6th grade teacher. So they came in and they were just so excited to learn how to cook. And so a lot of them would go home and cook for their families and on a regular basis, more so this year than I've ever seen before. It was remarkable. And I also had the opportunity to I was so excited about this group of 6th graders. I took them to a conference in San Diego to share FoodLab with, it was the Growing Garden Summit. And
I was there.
Put on by Life. Oh, you were?
Yeah.
I missed you.
I was the guy out in the hall doing the podcast interviewing. So, yeah.
Well, darn it, we missed you.
Yeah.
But here we are. So yeah, I was with the group of kids, the only group of kids at this conference.
Sure.
Wow.
And we just had a blast. And they really showed off their skills because we put on a little mini FoodLab demonstration. And so they were able to show their knife skills and their, everything, the reading recipes, multiplying recipes, all that.
I actually popped in and saw you guys. I got to catch a little bit of them in action. So that was really neat to see.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah. And so this is really kind of neat because Michelle and I just interviewed another person who did farm to school on a massive scale in a mega school district. And people listening to that would say, oh, well, he has a base kitchen and I can't do that in my small district. But here's a perfect example of a small school, and people can do farm to school and scratch cooking and use your school garden produce at big giant school districts and little tiny schools. So this is a really good lesson. Now I'm assuming I made some assumptions that you are able to use your school garden produce and do some scratch cooking. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So we rely on our school garden immensely, mostly for nutrition education. And our LifeLab instructor is amazing at coordinating with me, and they will bring me whatever is available, whenever it's available. And so we just incorporate it right then into what we're doing. So usually there's an abundance of kale, and our kids love kale salad. So we'll just get the kale from the garden and process it and make it into our kale salad, which is amazing. And the preschoolers and kindergartners, well, preschool has their own little garden, but the kindergartners and the 1st graders, the younger students, just absolutely love harvesting those vegetables and bringing it to me. I have so many pictures of smiling kids giving me zucchinis and kale, and it's wonderful. So yeah, we try to incorporate as much of that as possible. It's not enough. They're not production beds by any means. It's not enough to, meet our needs for an entire lunch, but we do supplement. Obviously we have amazing farmers in our area, and they attend our school. And so Fifth Crow Farm, for instance, whatever is left over from their market, they bring and donate to us. It's an incredible thing we have going on up there. We also have the opportunity to purchase organic chicken and pork from a local farm called Root Down Farm. And a lot of that has to do with that money that came in for local food for schools and school food best practices. That money was so helpful in being able to purchase from those local farmers. And we also were able to purchase grass-fed beef from Left Coast Beef, which is up the coast in Pescadero. So We live in a very abundant place. It's incredible.
Sounds delicious. My mouth is like salivating here. Which I kind of wanted to revisit your kale salad that the students make. How do you prepare it so that they're excited about it?
Well, it's salty. That's one thing. It has soy sauce, lemon juice, and olive oil. That's our basic dressing. And then you soak a red onion in that. And then you julienne the kale, so it's pretty small. And then you put the dressing over the kale and you massage the heck out of it. So you break down the kale fibers so it's not as tough. And we serve it on the plate every day, or not kale salad every day, but we serve a salad on the plate every day. So students sit down to a plate of food. They don't come through a lunch line. And so they sit down to a plate of food, and then the fruit is offered, the milk is offered. So we do a combo of plated and offer versus serve. So we give them the minimum required amounts, and then if they want a little bit more, we offer them a little bit more.
You said they sit down to a meal. They don't go through a cafeteria line. Can you
like family style?
Yeah. Can you bring that to life for us? I'm having a hard time picturing it.
Okay, so we have, I guess, what you'd call an expediter, and he or she, it's going to be a he this year, he will take the plates out to the lunchrooms, and then the class will come in. So we have 2 separate dining rooms. We have 3 different lunch services. So we are serving from basically 11:30 until 1 o'clock, just nonstop.
Nice. Wow.
And we have 2 outdoor seating areas and then 2 indoor seating areas. So, the classes come in, they sit down, and there's a plate of food waiting for them. And then we'll have bowls of fruit that are passed around and pitchers of milk that are passed around so they can pour their own milk, or we'll have someone pour it for them. Yeah, that's how we do it.
This is every day?
It is every day. Now the breakfast we serve from a cart. It's like on the play yard. We just fill it up, push it out onto the play yard, and then the students come and get what they want from the breakfast cart. So that's a little different. But
wow, that is a different type of seating. And we heard Bertrand Weber say this phrase of difference between school lunch and lunch at school. And it seems like how you're really bringing that to life.
We really try to honor the food that we serve them, because it's incredibly beautiful food, and we want them to appreciate it. So they sit down with a napkin and a fork and a knife if they need it, a spoon if they need it. And I do think they enjoy their food.
Yeah.
I think it helps with school too.
And for those of you who would like to see Emilia in action, I do have a little FoodLab video to share with you. I'll put in the show notes, as well as the LifeLab garden program there at the schools. But I'll put that in there too.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot to understand, but coming and seeing it, everyone is invited to come and see it if you'd like to. We have a lot of groups that do come in, and they view FoodLab, they watch from the windows, and then they sit down to a meal. Like John Fisher brings in a lot of people they come through our school, and it's wonderful. They get to see us in action, because it's seeing is believing, because it's a lot. You hear that these 11-year-olds are cooking for 150 people. They do it, and they do a really amazing job at it, and they take such pride in it. And then they're so proud to serve their preschoolers and their first graders. And by the time those preschoolers and first graders, second graders are in 6th grade, they are so excited to be in FoodLab. Finally, they made it, and they're the ones who get to cook it. It's all about buy-in. You hear a lot about school gardens. If you grow it, kids are more likely to eat it. Well, if they make it, they're more likely to eat it. I've had so many kids who will not eat a lick of food on their plate in preschool. And that's part of their preschool program. Their parents can pack them a lunch if they want, but they are served a plate of food from us. And so they sit with that. They look at it every day. And there are some kids who just look at it. That's it, but it's part of their day, and it's part of what they do. And they, some of them will rarely touch it. And by sixth grade, they eat the entire plate of food.
Well, you are
And
speaking our language. I
Wow.
mean, that's what we preach all the time. So thank you for articulating that. And then I also wanted to tell our listeners, you mentioned your school garden coordinator, John Fisher. We did an episode, we actually interviewed him a few months back, so you can check that out too. Just look for John Fisher in our previous episodes, and you can listen to that one too.
Emilia, this is extraordinary. Just listening to your story, I'm thinking, is this even possible in other districts? I mean, you have a lot of people come through, but what do you say to that? Is this even replicable?
Absolutely. I think that so many other schools can do exactly what we're doing, that they can alter it. Maybe they make breakfast for the next day, or, they change it up a little bit, but these kids really learn such incredible skills, like those soft skills like leadership and teamwork and empowerment in the kitchen. And obviously they learn their kitchen skills, but I think that it really is a well-rounded education that we give them. And they're working on their math skills, their English language arts skills. It all comes together in that kitchen in such a real way. And I really think it's so valuable that more schools really need to do this. And Kelsey in Live Oak in Santa Cruz, she's doing it. And it's so impressive that she's taking this much larger district than ours and doing it. So I'm happy to see that it's out there.
Okay. So Emilia, what do you think, where do you see FoodLab going in the future from now? Where are you headed?
Well, I'm up to Davenport tomorrow, actually, to start my school year. So I'm there, but I would love to take these kids on the road. Like, taking them to San Diego was incredible, and I would love to take them to more conferences and teach other people how to do what we do. Like I said, other schools can do this, and it's doable. So I'd like to get my kids out there to show other people how to do it.
Great. And that's, again, reinforcing the youth development and building self-efficacy and confidence and all those soft skills you were mentioning as well.
Absolutely.
Emilia, I just want to say thank you for all your incredible work that you're doing. You make it sound easy, and yet I know it's a huge lift. It's a huge lift. So thank you for joining us today on the podcast.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, we'd like to thank everybody for listening today so much.
Farm to School was written and directed and produced by Rick Sherman and Michelle Markiston, with production support from Leanne Locker of Oregon State University. This podcast was made possible by a grant from the United States Department of Agriculture.
The content and ideas for Farm to School podcast does not necessarily reflect the opinions of OSU, Oregon Department of Education, or the USDA. The USDA, ODE are equal opportunity providers and employers.
Hey, do you want to learn more about Farm to School? Check out our other episodes, show notes, and contact information by Googling Farm to School Podcast OSU.
We would love to hear from you. Stop by the website Michelle just mentioned to say hello or give us an idea for a future podcast.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you again, Emilia.
Thank you, Emilia.
Thank you for having me.